and welcome to Little Likac. This is the Little Likac podcast, episode 31. Welcome. My name is Amanda and I live in Derby in the East Midlands in the UK. Today is Sunday the 12th of June and I have got lots to share with you today, so thank you for joining me. If you are a returning viewer, then thank you so much for joining us again today, and thank you for subscribing. The numbers have been going up, which has been lovely. And if you are new to the channel, then hello and welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you see, and if you do enjoy it, then please do subscribe. So lots to go through today, so much so that I even actually wrote things down on a bit of paper, which is unusual. Oh no, and I've just realised as well that the computer is on and possibly going to keep making lots of noises. If it does, I will try and go and sort it out. So what have we got to do today? We're going to have an update on the MAL, the make along that is running for the whole of June, the Crack the Whip MAL, which has been really successful so far. Lots of people participating in that, and I have prizes to show you for that. And there is the computer still going on, so let me just go and sort that out. I've muted that, so that will stop making that horrible noise now. So yes, I'm going to show you the prizes for the make along. I've got some finished objects to show you because I have been cracking the whip, which means I have finished a couple of things. I have some new things to show you. I have some more whips to work on, and also a couple of acquisitions as well for some new things that I would like to make. So let's get started. I'm actually going to start today with a little bit of a throwback. You might see that I am joined today by my lovely dolls. These are my Arnie and Carlos dolls that I knitted in 2014 and 2015 for my daughters, who were about 8 and 10 and about that age. And a few years ago they gave them back to me because they didn't want them anymore, which is fair enough. But I have kept them because I love them and I love their little wardrobes. And I've updated their wardrobes today. You can see that they are dressed in their well, perhaps not for summery, but they are dressed in little outfits. This one is called River, and she is dressed in a beautiful lime green with orange polka dots to match her beautiful orange hair. So these are all Arnie and Carlos dolls and designs. The clothes are their designs as well. This one is called Emily. She is wearing a lovely dress with owls on, with a matching fetching Fair Isle cardigan in the purple and blue with the beautiful daisies buttons. So that's Emily's little outfits. None of them got shoes on today though. And Lillian is rocking the slightly girly goth style with the skull dress and the pink and black sweater. And it really made me laugh because Lillian was based on my eldest daughter Eloise, who when she was about 10 when I knitted it for her was very girly and into everything pink and flowery, but now has become a little bit more darker in her outfits. And actually she is looking at making crocheting a pair of leg warmers in black and bright pink with skulls on. So when I saw this little outfit that I had knitted, I don't know, like 8 years ago, I was like, oh my goodness. So Lillian is wearing that outfit today. I'm going to have to send a picture to Eloise to say, hey, do you remember this outfit? So I have a feeling I may have made that outfit for one of these two at the time. I can't remember. So yes, those are my little Arnie and Carlos dolls. I do love them. I haven't knitted anything for them for a while. Maybe I will with some scraps later this year. Got so many other things to do though. Right, okay, so let's talk about the make along. So the make along that we are running for this month is called Crack the Whip, and the idea is that you are working on getting some things finished that you have already started. Anything counts if it was started before the 1st of June, and it doesn't matter if it was started on the 31st of May or if it was started on the 1st of January or if it was started 10 years ago, it still counts. Okay, so, and you don't have to finish it in June. Obviously the aim is to try to finish, but obviously it's a massive project, it may not get finished in June, but the point is that you are making progress on it. So our Crack the Whip make along, I said I would pull out some prizes for it. So I went through my stash and I have recorded a video actually of me going through. This was just a small part of my stash, which was my commercial sock yarn basically. So I went through that and I've picked out some prizes that I will be giving away as part of the make along. So what is there? Firstly, there is this ball of King Cole Zigzag, 100 grams, in the colourway 3249 Aquamarine. I had 2 balls of this and I have used 1 ball of it already, which made a full adult size pair of socks, really big socks, like a size 13 adult male socks. So you get a good amount of yardage on here. So it's 100 grams, 460 yards, 420 metres, and I say enough there to knit a full adult adult pair of socks. So that is one prize that I will be giving away. Another prize, again, sock yarn, Regia or Regia, I'm never sure how to pronounce it, in the colourway 4260. I'm not sure what the actual name of that colour is, I can't see a name for it, but you can see here it doesn't really stripe, it's sort of more pooling in those colours, but that is another prize for one lucky winner. Then we have this one, another King Cole Party Glitz 4-ply that you could use to make socks. Now this one is I think it's 100% acrylic, 88% acrylic, 7% PBT, no idea what that stands for, and 5% metallic, so it is sparkly. So you could do socks in that, or you could do a child size, or like a toddler size baby toddler cardigan or something like that, and it might be quite nice. So that is another prize for the make along. This is another prize, a 4th prize, is another 100 grams of sock yarn, but in 2 different colours. It is the same yarn, it's the Regia cotton, which is suitable for socks. I have knitted socks in these before. 41% wool, 34% cotton, 25% polymer. So they're 2 50-gram balls, but I think you could do something colour work together with those, so they are going to go together as a prize. And then the last one that I've chosen for now, and there may be some others added when I look at other parts of my stash, is this, which is a JL Avinca, and I bought this in America quite a few years ago. It is 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon, so suitable for socks, kind of a little bit of a mould effect, okay, and so that is another 100 grams of sock yarn. So those are all prizes for the make along. So how do you join in? How do you enter, I hear you ask? Well, like I say, all you need to do is be working on a WIP. It needs to be something that was started before the 1st of June. It needs to be something that was started before the 1st of June, and you need to enter it into our make along. And there are 2 ways of doing that. You can either enter it onto our Ravelry thread, and so we are on Ravelry as the Little Likac podcast group, and in there is a chat thread and there is a finished object thread. Anything you post in the chat thread will get entered, anything you post in the finished object thread will get a double entry. Or you can enter it on Instagram, and the hashtag to use is crackthewhipmal, M-A-L at the end. And again, anything you post on there will get entered, and if it is a finished object, I will enter it twice for you. And then I'm just going to draw names, and at the moment there are 5 prizes, so at the moment I'm just going to put all of the entries together in one big pool, and the first 5 that I pull out will win. I will not allow one person to win more than 1 prize, but obviously if you've got more entries in, you've got more chances of your name being pulled. So I hope that makes sense. If you don't use Instagram or Ravelry and you would still like to join in, then please email me a photo of your WIP and I will enter you that way as well. So I haven't given I always give all my email details, etc. They are in the show notes below as well, but I am on Ravelry as Likac66, and as I say, there is a forum on Ravelry for the podcast. I am on Instagram as Little Likac Yarn, and I am on email as littlelikac@gmail.co.uk, so you can contact me any of those ways, or gmail.com. Whatever it said on the screen will be right, because I'll double check it. It's gmail.com. Okay, so please have a go, join in. That is running till the end of June, so you've only got another couple of weeks to join in with that. Right, what is next? So because I had been cracking the whip on a couple of items, I have got some finished objects to show you. The first one is the Moonglade tee. I'm just picking up the hairs out of it. I have worn this a couple of times. It is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So this is the Moonglade tee. And it was designed by the lovely Kelly Menzies, also known as Roro and Kades. It has this beautiful lace at the bottom here. There we go. And if you follow the podcast, you will know then that this was a test knit that I did for Kelly. And I had been quite upset at not getting it finished when I had first wanted it. It's still well within the deadline for Kelly. I do need to take some nicer photos of me wearing it, because so far most of the photos I've got, all the photos I've got of me wearing it are selfies. So I will try and get some nicer photos for Kelly so that she can use those. It is just beautiful. I've knitted this in my Premier Silk yarn in a colourway that is yet to be released, because I need to dye some more of it in that same colourway and get it onto the Etsy shop. But it is beautiful. It's a lovely silk yarn to use. It's actually a single ply, this one. I realised that I've got two yarns in my shop called Premier Silk, but then I've realised they are slightly different bases, so I'm going to have to change that slightly now. So yes, anyway, what can I tell you about this? It is 4-ply or fingering weight. It is knitted in the round. It is raglan. You start at the top and you do this beautiful lace work on the sleeves, then separate, and then it's lots of stocking stitch till down here. It is lovely to wear. I love the colour, I love the design, I love everything about this top. I'm really pleased that it is finished. It is going to be released at the beginning of July. I know that the sizes, there's a huge range of sizes. This is kind of one of the middle sort of sizes, and I think it goes from like a 28 or 30 inch bust up to 52 or even 62. Huge range. So it's a beautiful pattern, a lovely summer top, and I'm really pleased to have it finished, as you can imagine. That's the Moonglade tee. So what else have I finished? So a second item that I really wanted to finish was a cropped sweater that I was making for my daughter, and that got finished too. Ta-da! It kind of has almost like bat wing sleeves. Gonna admit, I'm not terribly delighted with the way it's sewn together, because it said to stretch the sleeves so that the sleeves go all the way down, and to be honest, even with a lot of stretching, it still wouldn't go, and it's ended up puckering a bit, but it did look nice on her. She has worn it to college, which to me is a big sign that that it's okay, because she has worn it to college. Unfortunately, I didn't get any photos of her wearing it, but I will try to at some point, so I can at least put that on my Ravelry project page. This was made with real cheap acrylic DK yarn on quite big needles, 5.5mm needles. And as you can see, it's cropped and oversized, it's huge, but she likes it and she likes the colour. It does look nice on her as well, actually. So the yarn that I used for that was just a cheap acrylic from Home Bargains. It was a 4-pack of 100 grams, well, 400 grams, 4 100-gram balls. I think it's Crafty Ways, is there? Crafty Ways, it's not Crafty Ways, but it's something like that. That is the brand for the Home Bargain yarn, and it's fine for what it is. It's not a great work of art. The pattern was a Burda pattern, and I've said this before, it was a really poorly written pattern. I would not recommend the pattern in any way, shape or form, especially not for a beginner. I had to do a lot of working out for myself, so it's okay, it's finished, it is what it is, and the most important thing is that Amelia likes it, so to me that's a win. Right, now the third finished object that I've got to show you, I'm going to insert another bit of video here, because this was something that I made in secret and has already now been given away. So I'm going to insert some video from earlier in the week. So hello, this is a separate little bit of video that I have recorded on Sunday the 4th of June. 5th of June? 5th of June, Sunday the 5th of June. So there has been a project I've been working on for the last couple of weeks that I couldn't show you on the podcast because it was something that I was making for my Year 11 class. And if you follow the podcast regularly, you will know that a few months ago my Year 11 class actually discovered I had a podcast, and some of them have been watching it. Because they'd been watching the podcast, some of them had been asking me about knitting things and just kind of joking about would I knit them a pair of socks and things like that. And it got me thinking that it might be actually quite nice to make them something. So I was considering making them something, and then my daughter, who is in year 12, so she's 17, she came home from her college a couple of weeks ago really excited because she'd been given a little crocheted animal by somebody at the college. So a lady who works there has been crocheting lots of different little cuddly toys and giving them out just randomly. And my daughter got given one and she was like really excited about it and was like, don't you think it's really cute? And I said, yeah, I do. Do you think that's cute? And she said, yeah. I said, so do you think if I made some for my Year 11s, they would think it was cute? And she was like, yeah, totally. So that is what I have done. So I've not shown it to you the last couple of weeks. I've not put it on Instagram or anything like that because some of them follow me on there. But by the time I add this to the podcast, I will have given them these. And this is what I have made them. These little worry worms. So I've made 26 of the little fellows. 26 of them. I'm having them over there. 26 of these in all sorts of colours. Bright orange, slightly more subtle grey, green. Most of them, there's 2 of each colour, but not quite the pink. And all I've used is DK acrylic scraps. Found a pattern, adapted it very slightly, partly to include this little crochet hook, chained bit on the top, so if they want to put them onto a key ring or hang them somewhere they can. So yeah, so I've made 26 of these little fellows, and hopefully I'm going to give them to them this week. Oh, he's got a bit of a funny eye. I'm going to give them all a little worry worm. I bought some bags from the works to put them in, and they'll also have a little card from myself and a little lollipop. If I can, I'm hoping I'm even going to be able to match the lollipop colours to the worms if I can. But yes, so 26 of these I've made in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, so I used 3mm hook, scraps of DK, embroidered little faces on them. Some of their faces are cuter than others. These bright pink ones were the ones I did first. And then obviously I feel like I had got better by the time we got to these. So yeah, those are my little worry worms. Yeah, so those are the worry worms. I gave them to the students on Tuesday, and I have to say they absolutely loved them. I packaged them up, and I'm a little bit annoyed because I had still got one left at school because I did do one extra, and I meant to bring that home to show you in the packaging, but I'll put a photo here of the packaging. So yes, I packaged them with, they had a little lollipop and a little note for myself. And the students loved them. They absolutely loved them, more than I could imagine. So really pleased with how that went. But it did create a little bit of a monster in respect that I then got it into my head that it would be a good idea to knit or crochet some other little goodies that I could have in my classroom to give away as prizes or rewards, which meant I have made, and I'm looking around because I can't find them now, which bag did I put them in? I have made some other little amigurumi things, which are really quite cute. Where's it gone? Oh no! Oh, I've got them down the side here. So I've got a couple that I don't know where I have hidden them away. But here are 2 little octopuses that I've made. How cute are these? And these do not take very long to make at all. So I've made a couple of these, and I will definitely be making more. So they're kind of got pretty much the same head as the worry worms, and then instead of one long leg or body, they've got lots of little, well, 8 funnily enough because it's an octopus, 8 little tentacles. So they are very cute. I've put a little crochet chain on the top there so that I can pop them onto a keyring, or the students can pop them onto a keyring if they want. So I did those, and I will definitely be making more of those. I then had a little attempt at I had an attempt at a dinosaur that I thought was going to come out smaller than this, and again would be a quick project. He actually took quite a while, so he is not, I'm afraid, going to become a classroom prize. He took too long to be a classroom prize. Look at him, how cute is he? So he is going to be for Amelia, and he might be a stocking filler for Amelia because my younger daughter, the one that I made the green jumper for, she loves dinosaurs. She loved dinosaurs as a kid. She loves dinosaurs now as a teenager stroke nearly adult. And last year, if you watched the podcast from this time last year, I actually crocheted her a big dinosaur, a big triceratops. So this might go in her stocking, or I might give it to her later in the year. This is a cute little dinosaur. I will link the pattern page below. So then I was still trying to find a dinosaur pattern that was a bit smaller. This is my first attempt at this one. It's okay, it needs a bit of work. This is a little triceratops. It just needs a little bit of work, that its body, face, all the spines aren't coming out quite as well as I'd like, but it's not bad, and he didn't take very long. He wasn't much longer than the octopuses, so if I can work on this just to get the this bit a little bit better. I'm not sure I followed the instructions exactly right. There might be, he looks a bit too much like a pig at the moment rather than a dinosaur, a triceratops, but he's not bad. So yes, I've got a whole load of amigurumi. I did make a little flower, so I don't know where the flower has gone, but it's around somewhere. So yes, that's what I'm into at the moment, is making these little small amigurumi types as little prizes for my classroom. So I'm sure I will do more of those until I get bored of them. Okay, so those are all my finished objects. I hope you'll agree, quite a few there, although the amigurumi ones, some of those were a little bit of distraction from my proper WIPs. But yeah, okay, what else is there to tell you about? So what other WIPs have I been working on? So I finished those 2 tops. The next thing that I've done quite a lot of work on is a pair of socks. Which is the Oberon socks, which I had one finished already. Finished this one a few weeks ago, and this design is by Penny Baker Knits, and I had only got this much done when I saw you 2 weeks ago. So since then I have done all the rest of the leg, and I have also done the heel, the heel flap, and turned the heel. So the next thing to do is pick up the stitches. And I worked out, I looked to see on this how many repeats of the cable, and it's 22 in total, and I've done 11 for the leg, so I'm pretty much halfway, because obviously you've got the rib on the cuff, and there'll be the toe of the sock to do. So I would say I'm halfway through that sock. So I'm just going to move my stitch marker, and that is, I haven't got a huge passion for socks this year, in case you haven't noticed, like I did last year. Last year it was socks galore, and this year I kind of wanted to do other things, but it does mean actually my sock knitting's really slowed down. But yes, I have been working on that. That's in my Prince bag. I think, who's this bag by? I don't know, but I love this bag. It's got a guitar little pull for the zip pull, and then it's got when doves for when doves cry, paisley part, purple guitar, symbol. Yeah, lovely Prince fabric bag, which is awesome. So yeah, I will keep working on the Oberon socks. I do like the socks, and I do love the way they're coming out. I'm just not enjoying knitting socks as much as I did last year, but I think that's quite common for you to go through phases, isn't it, of loving something and then getting bored of that and then loving something else. Okay, so what else have I been working on? So the Moonglade tee had to be finished as a test knit anyway, but I had got another 4-ply summer top. Lovely bag, this one's from the Woolly Tangle, beautiful big bag. So I've got another 4-ply top which you had seen, and then it got put to one side for a little while. This is the 7 Senses top, and I'm knitting it in cotton. So Hansen is the name of the designer for this, and I had done a test knit for her earlier in the year, the Carmen Sita cardigan, and then as a reward for that I got given a free pattern and I chose this one. So the top, the yoke is all done now. Last time you saw this I was about up to here, I think, on the yoke. I'm not overly happy with the increases. I do think you can see the increases really quite badly. They're not very happy with the increases, but maybe when I block it out they will come out a little bit. So yeah, not sure that the way the increases are written into the pattern. I thought maybe they would make a feature, but I don't know. Anyway, but hopefully they'll block out and be okay. So yeah, a bit of a mess, aren't they? But I do absolutely love the yoke. And then this is now lots of stocking stitch till it gets to the end, and then it has a little bit of pattern lace. It doesn't have this much lace, I don't think, at the bottom, but it has a few rows of something at the bottom. So this is going to be a bit of a slog now because it's going to be a lot of stocking stitch. Probably good for Zoom calls though, good Zoom knitting. So I do want to carry on working on that quite a lot over the next couple of weeks. I don't think it's going to get finished before the end of June though, because my knitting time is going to get seriously reduced over the next 4 weeks. But I will work on it, and the cotton that I am using is Sirdar Luxury soft cotton, and I got this in a charity shop at a bargain of £1 a ball, and I got quite a few balls of it. Don't think I'll need all of it. I think I got 5 or 6 balls. Don't think I'll need all of it for this top, so I'll have some left over. It's lovely soft cotton, and it was in the colourway 661, really pretty pink, just for a change, pink or lilac. Okay, so that's another WIP that has had some love. Yesterday I knitted on that a lot in the afternoon because it was Worldwide Knit in Public Day, and so yesterday I met up with the Derby Knit and Natter group, or Yarn Addicts group actually, I think is our proper title, and we met in a park and a couple of other people came and joined us, which was lovely. And so I worked on that for quite a few hours, and working on with cotton, and also I've been doing kind of amigurumi. My hand and my arm was aching a bit, so in the evening I decided to pull out another WIP that's on slightly thicker needles so that I wasn't just working on something small the whole time. And what I pulled out was the Cable Crush Hoodie, and you've only seen this once. I cast this on back in April and literally had done a few rounds of rib and then didn't do anything else on it. So this is on 6mm needles now. It started on 5.5mm and is now on 6mm needles, so it was quite nice to have something that was a bit chunkier. And the yarn is, I think technically it's worsted weight, but it's more like an Aran. The yarn is this Maranis Maxima, and as I say, I think technically it's worsted, but it comes up quite big. It is a lovely yarn, 100% wool, I think. Yeah, it says gauge 18 to 20, so that's a worsted to Aran, isn't it? Just trying to see where it tells us what it's made from. Yeah, 100% extra fine merino wool. And it is coming out, so this pattern that I'm doing is the Cable Crush Hoodie, so it has got some big chunky cables on it, which I've just started. So the first cable is here, but it's quite a lot of rows before you cross your cables again. And progress keeper is where I was, where I'd got to when I'd cast it on. So I'm going to move that now. You can't really make out the cables terribly well at the moment. I don't know if you will be able to, but I'm not too worried about it. I just think this will be a really nice, it will have a hood as well. Obviously I'll put a picture. It will have a hood as well, but I just think this will be a great thing to throw on maybe when I've been out for a run and I come home and have a bath or a shower and I just want some loungewear. This is not probably something that's going to be worn outside the house particularly, other than maybe walking the dog or whatever. It's going to be very much casual loungewear. So I'm not too fussed on how clear the cables come through. I just think it will be really warm, soft and squishy. And because it's knitted on 6mm needles, I'm hoping that will knit up relatively quickly. So I will be working on that, even though it's definitely not a summer top. I just think it will be a good one to keep working on as something that will work up relatively quickly. So I think those are the main things that I have been working on. Yes, they are. So all of those little amigurumis, the Oberon socks and those couple of tops have been the main things. Which means, what else am I going to do? Acquisitions. So what have I bought? Well, I've been pretty good. I haven't bought very much, but I have bought some yarn that is for a specific project. This is Paint Box 100% cotton DK. Now it says it's DK, but I'm going to be honest and say it looks really quite thin for a DK, so I'm hoping it knits up all right. It is 100% cotton, buttercup yellow and blood orange. I'm just looking to see what it says. It says 22 stitches on 4 mils, which is exactly what DK should be. It just doesn't look like a DK. So I will gauge swatch. Now this is for my lovely niece's lovely daughter. So my niece is lovely and her daughter is lovely. And I am going to be knitting a little tunic for her that I saw, a Jane Burns design, and I'll pop it up now while I'm talking. And I saw that design and I just knew straight away that that would really be the kind of thing for little Bryony. So I've only bought the orange and the yellow yarn because the other colours I have got enough scraps of cotton in other colours to be able to just do those other bits. I will be casting this on. I'd like to have this knitted for her birthday, which is in August. So I don't think I'll cast it on before the end of June, but maybe I will. It might get cast on by the end of June, but certainly beginning of July. Yeah, but I'm going to have to swatch for it because I am worried about whether that's actually going to be a DK weight or not. And then my other acquisitions are not real acquisitions in the same sense. I realised that I had never shown you the sock yarn club for Little Likac for May, because I keep thinking about casting this on or something. And for May I decided to go really bright, really bright, and this was the Princess and the Pea colourway, and this represented all the mattresses in the story of the Princess and the Pea, and I found a beautiful picture on Etsy of this with all these lovely bright colours. So that was the inspiration, starting with the dark blue. That was the inspiration for the 100 gram skein, and then obviously you've got that green, so I pulled that green out there for the contrast colour. I do think they would make some amazing socks, so I am quite tempted, although I did say I'm not sock loving at the moment, but I think I will use those for socks. Maybe they'll get taken on holiday when we go away in August. And then I have the June colourway. Now that has been delivered to everybody in the UK. There was an international order. I don't know if that has arrived yet, so if you are my international customer and you haven't received your June sock yarn club yet, then look away now, because I'm going to just show the June colourway. And this was June, so quite different to May. And this was actually the Frog Princess, and you might be thinking, well, why isn't there green? But again, what I like to do is I like to look at pictures of some sort of classical pictures to go with the stories, and then I pick a picture that inspires me, and I loved these colours on that picture, and so that was the picture I went with. It came with a little froggy stitch marker. And it also came, because if you know the story of the Frog Princess, she meets the frog where she drops this golden ball down the well and the frog rescues it for her. And so the extra thing, and I haven't got any of these anymore, were some little chocolate golden balls that got sent out as well. I wonder if you can imagine why there aren't any of those to show you. But yes, I am really, really happy with that as well. That one again feels like more like shawl colours to me than sock colours maybe, but I don't know. So those are my colourways for May and June, and obviously I have got those now in my stash. Right, so bit of a life update. I said then that I'd been to a Knitting in Public day yesterday, and that also I mentioned as well that the cable crush hoodie would be a great one to throw on after I came home from a run and had a shower. Because yes, I have been running again, having had 6 months of no running. So I used to run a lot. I started running about 5 years ago. Before 5 years ago, I did not run. And in fact, I said I was not a runner, this body was not made for running, I couldn't run, and all of the excuses, was not interested. And I got into running about 5 years ago. To the point that I even ran London Marathon in 2019. And then I was prepared to do Manchester Marathon. I'd done all the training to do Manchester Marathon in 2020, and we were 3 weeks away from the marathon. So I'd got right up to the last part of training, because with a marathon you train up until you increase your mileage till about 3 weeks before, and then you drop back your mileage for a few weeks. And I had got up to the 20 or 22 miles in the training, and then the marathon was cancelled because we all know what happened in 2020. And then I've really struggled to keep the running going. I had been running through 2021, and then I struggled last year. And January I had a few, did go out and run a bit. Then I got COVID, and then the running had stopped. This week I have been out and run 3 times, which I'm really, really pleased about, including park run yesterday. I took it right back to basics. I didn't go out and go, right, let me see how far I can run. I kind of went, I haven't run for 6 months. I don't feel great about my running. Let's just go back and use Couch to 5K week 1 and see how that is. And it was great. It was fine. It was absolutely fine. But it wasn't so fine that I thought, oh my goodness, I can do loads more than this. It was fine as in, yes, this feels absolutely doable. But I don't want to push myself and make myself then feel worse. So I am just going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with the Couch to 5K. I mean, I did more than that yesterday, because week 1 is you walk for 5 minutes, and then you do 60 seconds running, 90 seconds walking, 60 seconds running, 90 seconds walking, and you do that for however many times, and then you finish. Well, if I had finished then yesterday, I would not have finished park runs, so because park run is 5K, so I kept going with the 60-second run, 90-second walk, 60-second run, 90-second walk all the way through until I'd finished park run. So yesterday, I went for further than the first week of Catch 5K said, but I still stuck to the same 60 seconds running, and it was absolutely fine. I'm a little bit achy this morning, but not very much, so I'm really, really pleased with myself for that. And I intend to do week 2 this week, so watch this space, fingers crossed I keep it going. And I say fingers crossed because from another life update point of view, I am an examiner for a GCSE exam board, and the students have now taken that exam, so over the next 4 or 5 weeks a lot of my time that would have been used for knitting is going to be taken for marking and working on the exam marking. So that does mean the knitting is going to slow down. So however, I have recorded a couple of videos that I will put into the podcasts. I'm going to try to do podcasts still in the next couple of weeks, but they may be a little bit shorter, or there won't be as much to show as what I've actually worked on knitting wise. I have recorded one video already though, that is me showing my part of my stash, and so there may be a few other bits like that that will get put in rather than me showing what I've knitted, because there won't be much to show. So yes, that will be really busy. But also we will be preparing for Christmas in July, because we will have Christmas in July again. So that will be another make along, and there will be prizes for that, and that will be all about knitting or crocheting on something that is related to Christmas or winter. So it could be that you are making something for somebody for a Christmas present. It could be you're using yarn that was given to you for Christmas, or you're using an advent set. Anything like that will count for Christmas in July. I will also be launching the Advent calendar for Little Likac at the beginning of July. It will go on sale, and I am so excited about the theme. So I've been working on the artwork for that, and that will, so look out on my Instagram, because I will start releasing some information about that over the next couple of weeks, so that if you are interested in buying the Advent, you will know what it's going to be all about, and you can then go into my Etsy shop at the beginning of July to order it. So yes, I think that's all I've got to tell you. I was thinking, oh, this is quite a short video, but then I've remembered I've probably got a good 15 minutes of me going on about the worry worms to insert as well, so I'm sure it'll be a longer video anyway. As always, if there is anything you want to, oh yes, I was going to say, if there's anything you want to email me about, that reminds me, the lovely Sarah, a viewer of the podcast, did contact me this week. What an enabler she is. She was telling me about some yarn from Aldi, so I did pop to my Aldi, and they didn't have it, but it turns out Sarah is local to me, and she may have gone and got that yarn for me, in which case I shall probably be able to show that to you on the next podcast if I have met up with Sarah and arranged to get the yarn from her. So yeah, so Sarah, thank you very much for watching, thank you for getting in touch, and as I say, though, you are definitely an enabler. So yes, anything you want to get in touch with me about on Instagram or email, please do. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like and a thumbs up, and leave a comment, and please, you know, spread the word, because we're at about 570 something, I think, subscribers, and when we get to 600, I think we'll have to do a giveaway to celebrate getting to 600 subscribers. So please share the word. If you like the podcast, share it, and let other people know about it, and hopefully we can get to 600 subscribers. Alright, take care everybody, and I'll see you soon. Happy knitting.